tonight's episode of Python Papi. We're back inside our generative AI course, and we're still going over our text to SQL project. Let's have a look at what we went over tonight. Now, we actually finished up the first part of this project, but let me just start to reading where we picked up at and left off at for the night so we can get caught up on speed. So now we can run this command in our terminal, Python SQLite.py, and we should be able to generate that's supposed to be table. Sorry about that. Generate a table with all the information we assign. We will also notice that our student.db file is created in our folder. This will let us know that our insert was successful. Now all of the data has been inserted into our database. This completes our first step of the project. And the next step will be creating an LLM application. We will be using the DB we created in step 1 and step 2. Now we want our LLM to do is take some English text as input and then retrieve some records from the DB we created in step 1. To get started, we will create a new file where we will be writing our code for our LLM. The name of this file will be sql.py. As you can see, this is our new file here. sql.py is where we're going to be starting at. And I didn't add any new code. It was already completed. So basically, let me show you this really quick. As you can see here, this is our main folder. As you can see here, we don't have any student.db because I didn't run it yet. I wanted to do it live so I can show you guys. So I've actually run it already to see that it works. So we're going to actually show you. So what happens when I run this is we should get our table with all of our information, and then that should generate a student.db database for us. So let me go ahead and do that now. So we're going to run it live. There's our table. As you can see, we have our students, we have their classes, and we have the sections of the classes they're actually studying in now. So not only did we create our table, we can see that visually, but we can also come over here and see that now we have a student.db, which is our student database. So basically all this information from here is now inside of our database. I can click on this, and as you can see, this file is not displayed in text editor because it is either binary or uses an unsupported text encoding. Now, as you can see, that just gave you the answer right there is why we can't see it. Recall, we don't store strings inside of our database. Our database takes embeddings and vectors. So that's why we can't get it displayed here in this version and file. So if you're all following along and you want to try it yourself, if you see the student DB and you get this message, don't be alarmed because we're using embeddings and vectors, and that's not supported in this VSC. So that's why we can't see it there. But as you can see here, this lets us know that everything was successfully generated and our table was created, our database was created. So now we can move on to step 2. Like I mentioned, step 2 is going to be creating an LLM application that's actually going to be able to take some input and then retrieve the records that we want from this table here as we see fit. But moving on to step 2, I'm going to start that tomorrow so we can start fresh. Like I said, this was the end of step 1. So I wanted to get that out the way and make sure we understood everything that went on in step 1 before we move forward. So we're going to move forward and start step 2 tomorrow. And of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. But for now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.